Wagwan everybody. While playing GTA 4 or GTA The Ballad of Gay Tony, I've always been irritated by one thing. The person, or actually one of the people that tried to kill us, because the whole list would be pretty long, was trying to do so for no real reason and purely out of his desire for revenge. Yes, I'm talking about Ray Bulgarin. At first, it just seems lazy from the developer's perspective, because instead of actually making up some interesting, rational and logical reason for which an antagonist is chasing after us, plus writing some mysterious and shocking background behind it, they just say, let this guy just want to kill our protagonist cause revenge and stuff, I guess. Which in this case, in GTA 4, rationally, nothing adds up. I'll tell you why I think that in a minute, but after looking at this character a bit deeper, it actually seems like that was exactly what the developers wanted to do with Bulgarin's character. Moreover, I think that all that we're gonna talk about in this video makes Bulgarin one of the most, if not the most, evil antagonist in the whole series. Bulgarin's sick desire for revenge. I feel like we have to start with this point because that aspect actually gave birth to the topic of this video. In the episodes from Liberty City, we got two cases in which Bulgarin not only wants to throw under the bus a barely significant person, but also for no benefit, purely out of his desire for revenge and at a great personal expense and time commitment. First of those cases is Niko Bellic. Just to quickly recap, Niko used to work for Bulgarin after the war, smuggling people across the Adriatic. I don't know exactly what his role was, but if I was to guess, I'd say that he was protection for Ray's illegal transport of people. During one of such transports, the ship was attacked and sunk by unknown assailants. Niko barely survived, but Bulgarin lost a lot of money because of the sinking of his ship. Bulgarin, however, blamed Niko for the whole thing and made it up as if Niko robbed him and demanded his money back. Although, I don't think that that was his actual objective. Ray was a very influential figure in global organized crime. Considering that even in his eyes he lost a lot of money after the sinking of the transport, that means that he actually lost a lot of money. And who was Niko? He was just an ordinary hitman. He probably barely could make ends meet. How could Bulgarin expect Niko to pay him? Well, he didn't, and that is the first sign of his psychopathy. He seemed to need to have someone that he could persecute. It seems like it was one of his natural needs that he has to fulfill in order to be happy or satisfied. Cause I don't know how can you rationally explain it. Like, check this out. You are chasing after a guy that is totally insignificant, probably broke, cause you blame him for the failed transport. Niko, as he said, and I believe him, could not do anything about the attack. The assailants were probably just too strong.
We were busted a mile off the coast. I had to swim for my life. I don't know what happened. I nearly drowned.
My heart is bleeding.
I did my best! I didn't fuck up!
So Bulgarin made up that it was Niko's fault and he expected a broke random crook to pay him probably millions of whatever the currency he used. Even Lance Vance would know that this is ridiculous. Well, okay, maybe I went a bit too far, but nonetheless, it was just dumb and completely futile. But Ray Bulgarin, a boss of a huge criminal organization, that's fine by him. That's because in reality, he didn't expect to get a penny from Niko. He just took pleasure from persecuting people and then killing them. He just had to offload his frustration from his failure on someone, and Niko was unfortunate enough to become one of these people. And it's crazy how much Bulgarin wanted it, considering that killing Niko would not benefit him financially or otherwise in any way. I mean, like I said, apart from fulfilling his sick and psychopathic desire for revenge. And he went all the way to America after Niko. I mean, okay, that could have not been the only reason why he came there. Primarily it was most likely business, but it's still ridiculous how much of his resources Bulgarin thrown at Niko. How much soldiers he lost, whether it was in the mission Russian Revolution, hostile negotiation, or diamonds are a girl's best friend. And all that to eventually give up on him. Why? Well, that's because he found found himself a new target, or new target, Luis Lopez and Tony Prince. This time, he got so pissed off that Luis did not want to work for him that he decided to make some ish up again just to have a reason to offload his frustration on him. And so when he found out that Tony and Luis are currently in possession of the diamonds that apparently initially belonged to him, he convinced himself that the two robbed him, even though it was bollocks because Luis and Tone had no idea from whom the cook got them diamonds. The cook from which Tony bought the diamonds, who apparently had stolen them from Ray. But Ray's plan failed, or even plans failed, because not only he lost his ass, but also he did not manage to convince Luis to work for him. He had to offload his frustration on someone, and since Luis was involved in both of the sources of Ray's anger, he and his boss became the next target. And here, yet again, the diamonds were lost during the mission Ladies Half Price. Bulgarin would not achieve anything by killing the two. He would not get his rocks back, he would not earn any money. He did not seem to be interested in getting Tony's clubs. He was, but that was not a part of his motivation to kill Luis and Tony, which is confirmed, I think, by this dialogue in the mission Party's Over.
Whatever, it don't matter, all right? What matters is the Russian has come to Mr. Ancelotti and said he wants the head of anyone involved with the diamonds.
Again, he sent so much resources after them that is ridiculous. Plus, he actually paid for it with his own life, for persecuting Luis, because he just messed with the wrong guy and Luis killed him at the end of the ballad. But also, notice that solely killing Luis would not satisfy him as well. He wanted to first let Luis know that he wants to kill him and why, and then kill him. Because look at the mission in the crosshairs.
Hey.
Yeah, what's up? I'm here.
Yeah, okay. You're in position. Do you see a box in front of you?
Yeah.
Open it.
Okay, I'm here.
Do you recognize that man? I believe you parted with him in a diamond deal.
Yo, what the fuck? Is this the guy we bought the ice from?
You colluded with him to steal from me. I will do everything in my considerable power to drive you and your faggot master from this earth. Goodbye.
Oh, fucking great.
Instead of killing Luis at his sister's yard or just simply setting him up in Little Italy, cause maybe killing him at his crib was not the best of ideas, but no, he had to do all this shit with that dead cook who sold them diamonds head in the box before his snipers began to shoot at Luis. I wouldn't be surprised if Bulgarin specifically ordered the snipers to miss the first shot, just so Luis does not die immediately but dies a very stressful death, let's say, dodging bullets from the snipers all around him. Sick, absolutely sick that he can sacrifice so much resources to play with and kill insignificant people that were merely involved in his failure for totally no benefit. Lack of ability to take responsibility for a failure or a mistake. This is another thing that was Bulgarin's drive. Upon failing something, he would never admit that it was his mistake, or that ish happens sometimes and not everything always goes your way. Ray did not tolerate any mistakes. He did not accept failure. He did not consider such an option.
I guess we gotta move to plan B.
There's no plan B, you simpleton. Ray Bulgarin should not need to provide for failure.
At first, it seems like just a very ambitious and confident approach. However, only a fool or a psycho would refuse to accept that in this world, there are simply too many things beyond our control to be flawless in everything. There will always come a time when something goes left, and we gotta prepare for it, be able to take responsibility, learn for the future, etc, etc. Not Bulgarin though. Whenever some operation of his failed, he was looking for someone to blame, just so to make it up as if it was not his fault or his mistake, but someone else's. And that was one of the reasons for the already discussed examples in the stories of GT4 and GT TBoGT. With Niko, he lost a lot of money, and with Luis, he not only lost his diamonds but also failed to convince Luis to work for him. And so in both cases, he had to blame someone rather than taking responsibility. His love for money. For Bulgarin, money was the only thing that mattered. In his dialogue, he says that money gives you immunity.
I am informed that you used to have a reputation as a fighter.
Yeah, I can handle myself, but you can only fight for so long until you run into the wrong guy. And and then it ain't pretty.
You don't want to go pro? With the money behind you, no one would dare to beat you.
That you can fulfill all your needs with money. That money gives you limitless power, respect, anything you want basically. He also claims that there is always a right price. That no matter how much someone doesn't want to do something, if you pay him enough money, they will do it.
Double it. Offer 20 million, and then we see if it is not for sale. I think there's always a price in this city.
He considered people worth only if he saw that they are willing to work to make money, and if they put money as the highest priority. There is one dialogue that perfectly describes this.
If the money tells you to cut your fucking legs off, you'll do it. Because the money is better than a fucking leg. The money is making the plans. That's the American way.
All right, man.
Thank you. I like you. I make you rich. I make you man. Maybe I'll make you a man with one leg, but I'll make you a rich man with one leg.
Bulgarin thought that one should do absolutely anything in the name of money, and that there is no bigger value, and again, that there is not a thing that one could not buy. And even if Bulgarin came across someone that he actually could not pay off, he would get angry and would eliminate such people, just like he did with the corrupt new squad in the mission Going Deep, who did not want to take his bribes. Similarly with Ashvili and the Liberty City Rampage Club, Ashvili would not sell, so Ray had him killed. Yet another example, he failed to convince Luis with money to take over Tony's clubs, sacrifice his emotional bond and gratefulness towards Tony, and join his organization in the name of money.
I know people and people know me. I can get things done in this town.
That is why you are the person I need with me. But you must be loyal to me, alone.
That's a bit of a problem, bro. I ain't fresh off the boat. This is my town. I don't come alone. Tony's my business partner, bro. I ain't just leaving when a better offer comes along.
Again, Luis could not be paid off, so he had to be killed. Sociopathy and lack of belief in any kind of emotional attachment. This is also one of the things that make Bulgarin completely unpredictable and beyond any patterns. Bulgarin did not believe in any form of emotional bond or emotional value in people. The only people that he rated were the ones that would help him make more money. Ray once states that he trusts no one.
You mind me asking why a man of your means still gets his hands dirty like this?
It is important to keep an eye on your people.
But you trust Timur, right?
I trust no one.
His sister says that he has got no friend, as Ray's only friend was money.
Shut up, bitch. Take your pills. A friend of mine is here.
Ha! You don't have any friends.
People say that you can't buy love, friendship and such, and since Ray thought that he could buy everything, it shows that he did not believe in such values as love, friendship or gratefulness. It's perfectly portrayed in Luis's example again. Ray just could not understand why Luis wanted to stick to Tony. Tony was a drug addict, and from a purely materialistic point of view, Luis should have probably cut ties with him for his own sake, which actually he almost did towards the end, possibly influenced by what Bulgarin was telling him. But Ray could not understand that Tony once had helped Luis massively and basically made his life a lot better, and he could not understand that Luis was grateful to Tony for that, and therefore he wanted to stick to him even during this difficult period. For Bulgarin, it was like dark art, something unacceptable and a sign of one's weakness, and not as the same person would think. So what makes our world so beautiful and what's important, meaningful?
I tell you where it's got me. It's got me off the street. Before I met Tony, I was a no-hoper. I'd probably be in for life by now. Tony's given me every opportunity I ever got. Tony and I are partners. I'm gonna bring him with me wherever I go.
How sweet you are. Pathetic. This is not possible, and I think you know it.
He thought that money could eventually beat Luis's emotional attachment to Tony.
Tony's my business partner, bro. I ain't just leaving when a better offer comes along.
You say this now, we will see if your mind is changed.
Another thing is that Ray not only liked to persecute his targets to offload his frustrations after a failure, but he just liked to kill and hurt people in general. In the Going Deep mission, he very much enjoys shooting the news officers.
What's so fucking funny, man? I don't get you. You like getting your hands dirty, Mr. B?
And later, he even claims that killing people gives him the feeling of sexual arousal, which is, I ain't gonna lie, quite fucking sick.
Why would I pay someone to have all the fun?
If this is what you call fun, then fair enough.
You don't get a kick out of it? It does not get you dick hard?
If we felt going deep by killing Timur, so one of his best men it seems, there will be a cutscene in which we see that Ray does not even care that he lost a very good soldier. Completely. All he's angry about is that his plan failed and that he didn't earn money.
Look, man, I'm sorry about your friend, okay?
Timur, he's replaceable, but his death is part of the large failure. F this amateur shit.
Let alone the fact that he shoots his own sister in one of the cutscenes because she was complaining that Ray invaded her house basically and locked her up upstairs.
Hey, man, she okay?
A big gun next to a big man, huh? Your thingy was tiny even before the wrestling coach make you take steroids. Mother always said she only had daughters.
Ignore her, Luis.
Let's summarize. Ray could not admit to a mistake. Whenever something failed, he would look for someone to blame. Often, he chose someone totally innocent and would try his best to ruin and kill such a person, even if it was not beneficial and if it was costly for him. Money was his #1 priority. He thought that with money, you can have everything you need and that one should be willing to do absolutely anything in the name of money. Otherwise, they are weak and of little worth. And if someone like that would stand in Bulgarin's way, he would simply eliminate him. On top of that all, Ray was an unpredictable sociopath that had zero belief in emotional attachment, love, friendship, loyalty and such. The only thing that one should be loyal to according to Bulgarin was of course money. Tell me in the comments whether you agree with my take. If you like the story of GTA 4, I recommend you watch the video I made in which we discuss whether it was the right decision of Pegorino to kill Ray Bulgarin, and also was Ray actually a snitch in Jimmy's Mafia. Also, I'd like to ask you a favor. If you enjoy watching the videos on my channel and would like to stick around for longer, I'd really appreciate it if you subscribe to the channel. For you, it's just one click and it would help the channel grow. Plus, you can get notifications whenever a new video on the channel is released. Thank you in advance. Also, thank you all for watching. Respect.